Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to The Hook. I'm your host, Keith Butler, and I'm with my co-host, Jeffrey Lowe. What's up, Jeff?
What's up, Mr. Keith Butler? How you doing? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. It's a nice, cool, balmy day here in Detroit at the Six-Hole Studio. The snow is starting to subside. You know, we're starting to lean a little bit closer to the warmer months.
Spring baseball talks are in negotiations right now.
Yeah, things
hopefully
are
we'll
good.
get baseball back in the
Yeah,
in the
well,
mix.
you know, they're talking about a strike right now.
Yeah.
So who knows? But we'll see how that works.
Yeah, we'll see.
But Jeff, we've got a very interesting guest today. Would you do the introduction?
Yes, I sure will. I'd like to introduce to you and to our listening audience, and I'd like to say welcome back to you, and welcome back, and glad to be back in the seat again and podcasting. And our special guest is Zeke Joubert. Zeke Joubert and his two sons, Janah, and Jano. We got a Janah in the family. We got Jano in the family. And now we got Baptiste also. You know who Janah is, right? Melvin's son, daughter. What am I talking about? But anyway, hey, I'd like to welcome Zeke Joubert and his sons to the show. They do horses. They deal with horses, and also they train quarter horses out of the Ypsilanti Belleville area.
Okay.
And also they train work-line German Shepherds.
Oh, okay.
And they are affiliated with the EZJ Ranch. That's the letter E, that's the letter Z, and the J, and it's the EZJ Ranch.
And that's located in Ypsilanti?
Yeah, in the Ypsilanti area, Belleville area.
Okay.
Belleville.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey.
but I'd like to welcome Zeke to the show. Zeke, welcome to the show.
All right. What's up, Jeff and Keith?
Good, man. Nothing much, man. Thanks for coming on, man. Jeff was talking about, you guys being in the horses. And I said, yeah, we got to get them on and find out a little bit more about that.
And I hear the horses in the background.
Is that the horses in the background?
That's right.
So Zeke, tell us about, what you guys do. Tell us about your ranch. Tell us about, the horses and what you guys do all around.
We're basically horsemen. We do a little bit of everything with the horses. Little rodeo. We really like speed. But our horses are trained to do anything. We could take them downtown Detroit. They've been downtown Detroit on the Detroit River. We ride in parades. We do pony rides for kids and adults, birthday parties, and we race.
And you guys race?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so like when you done,
so we're basically all round equine, and we want to be all round in equine business. We don't have just one discipline. Like I said, my middle son, Baptiste, he rode for the Lincoln High School team, so he did a little bit of everything, speed, horsemanship. So my youngest son, Jano, he learned right behind Baptiste. And I've been riding horses since I was about 5 years old, but right now, I tell you what, they have way more knowledge than I do.
Yeah.
And I've never been on. I've been on one horse. No, that wasn't even a horse. That was a mule, and he threw me off.
Yeah, I did one horse. I did a horse up in Mackinac Island, and you really have to know how to control them and handle them, because they will take advantage of you. We got a horse out of a stable, and the horse rode up to the Grand Motel and stopped. And he ate some grass for about a half hour. Then he walked back I couldn't move him. He walked back to the stable, and I complained. He's like, "Yeah, you got to be able to handle him." So how is it? What is it about a horse that if you don't sit on it right, get on it right, how does it know that you can't handle him? That's a big beast.
Well, it's basically just like training your dog or anything else, the discipline and practice, routine. Horses are pretty much routine animals. Whatever you teach them or whatever they do constantly. That's basically what they know. There's no way you can stop them if they don't want to stop, or ride them if they don't want you on their back. They have to have confidence in you, just like your dog. When you have your dog in the house with you, if your dog you don't have any confidence in you, most likely he's not going to listen to you.
Okay, so then how do you build that confidence and that rapport between you and a horse? I mean, because a horse is basically, it's less. Well, I guess it's a domestic animal now, but when you look at a horse in comparison to a dog, that's a big difference. Man.
It sure is.
It's just like playing baseball, Jeff. You got to practice. You got to practice to get better and a lot of technique. A lot of people train horses differently, but basically, when it comes down to it, it's always the same point you're looking for. Building the trust between you and the horse.
Okay. Yeah. Now, how many horses do you guys have now, Zeke?
We have 4 at home right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the key thing when it comes to training? What is the one thing you look at in a horse? Like you say, wow, I see this horse.
I'm gonna let Jano talk. I'm gonna let Jano talk a little bit too, Jeff.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Definitely.
Yep. Go ahead.
Well, what is the one thing that that you look at in a horse to say that could be a good horse? I like that horse.
Yeah. How can you tell?
Tell
one that's trainable and one that's not trainable?
It's just like my dad said, as far as the comparison to real sports. It's just like an athlete. What can you tell in the athlete that you really like in a basketball player or a baseball player? And that's the horse's willingness to learn, the horse's willingness to pay attention and how quick they learn, and of course their work ethic. Because in training a horse, it's work. You have to launch them, you have to desensitize them, and everything like that. And like my dad said, you have to build the trust between you and the horse. I mean, it is an animal just like us, and they learn in many different ways, and you have to learn how to pick their brain and see which ones learn better this way, which horses learn better in a different way.
So what is it that you do? You ride, and how do you get them to do tricks? And what is the kind of things that you do with your horses?
Oh well, I'm the baby of the family, so I take pieces from everybody. I take the trail ride and then the rodeo style from my dad, and I like horses that do that. And then my brothers, we ride race horses together, so I take the speed and action and stuff from them. So I do pretty much everything. I mean, as far as the horses that I like different horses. As far as my race horses, I like a horse that's pretty quick, pretty fast, and as far as my riding horses, I like horses that's pretty mellow and calm and doesn't spook and that's very smart.
Okay, so how do you know which horse is good for racing and which is good for just riding? I mean, is it a different particular breed? Are they built differently? Are some taller, slimmer, thicker? What?
Yeah, conformation. A lot of just like an athlete. Like you see a point guard who's 6'3", 200 pounds. Can really jump. Got a nice strong build on him. Then you say, okay, he's a good athlete. Now you see a point guard that's 5'9", 150 pounds. He may be pretty quick and pretty fast, but he's not good at everything. And that's the same thing with horses. You want to see a horse that's pretty built and bred. A lot of times, as far as the racehorse business goes, they base the type of horse on how the horse is bred and what the horse's parents did and what the horse's grandparents did. So you base it off their lineage a lot of times.
So a lot of it is just DNA.
Yep.
Yeah, my sister had a couple of horses years ago, and I know they kept them out. I don't know where they kept them, but I know the upkeep and keeping them in stables was fairly expensive. It's a pretty expensive thing to own a horse, isn't it?
Yes, it can be. A lot of people say it's expensive, but you're spending more money and your time that you have to put into it. Like if you want your horses to look good and to, like I said, to trust you, and trained good, then you have to spend time with them. You just can't come in and be with the horse for 30 minutes every day and feed them, and then that's it. So you have to. Time is money. That's what we say all the time. Especially with our race horses, you have to be able to spend time with them and treat them like a real athlete.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next question. How much time in a day? I mean, it's only 24 hours in a day. You got to go to class. You got to go to work. What do you? I mean, what? How many hours a day do you put into training and caring for your horses? Because, say, for instance, you work 8 hours. Then do you spend the rest of the day? You got to sleep. Well, I mean, when do you get time?
Sometimes you're right. I would say probably a good 4 hours.
4 hours straight.
4 hours straight. Yeah,
Jeez.
I would say. Would you say that? Yep. As far as feeding them in the morning, feeding them in the afternoon, and then exercising them and having to take care of their body and stuff like that, I would say about 4 hours straight.
So you wake up before school. You say, "Oh, gotta go outside and get these horses right."
Yeah.
In the morning, gotta go feed them.
6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Every morning.
Yeah.
And then when you come home, you gotta get these horses right. Gotta do it again.
Exactly.
So you
like
put
a
in,
routine.
Yeah.
So you put in like an hour in the morning and then the other 3 hours in the afternoon or something like that?
No, in the morning we just feed them. So it only takes us about half an hour just to feed them and everything. Make sure they have water and hay and grain and everything. And then in the evening we clean their stalls, rebed their stalls, and then as far as our racehorses, we exercise them and everything like that. Then we come back and have to, sometimes you have to rub down their legs and everything like that, or ice them and stuff. So all that type of stuff takes about 4 hours.
Oh, when you said ice them, you ice them like you would ice an athlete. You would wrap their legs in ice, and how do they take to that? I mean, is it?
And is that what that means? What does it mean to ice the legs?
Just like we were saying earlier. I mean, once you train a horse and you get them into a routine, then that's all they know. Like a lot of racehorses, that all they know is the track. All they know is racing and exercise and eating. So they take it well after a while, But yeah, we do ice them. We have ice boots that we pack and everything, and we put them on their legs, the front legs and the back legs, for about 30 minutes each. Yep.
And is that a daily routine, or just after you work, after they run or something like
that? Going up to the race, it depends on the horse. Sometimes other horses have different injuries. Other horses, you may have a hard workout and they are sore or swell a little bit, or some horses are a little crazy. They may kick their stall and injure themselves, and you have to ice them and do stuff like that before we even work them out. So now, it all depends on the horse.
Now the quarter horses that you're running. Now what breed what breed would they be?
Is it a particular breed, or is one breed better than
the
other? No,
a quarter horse is the breed.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So as far as racing horses, period, they race standard bred. Those are the horses that they are saddlebred. Standard and saddlebreds they use for buggy racing, or when somebody sits behind them with a cart.
Yeah.
Thoroughbreds are longer distance horses, so they use those horses in like the Kentucky Derby. That's the horses you see in the Kentucky Derby and everything like that. And quarter horses, they're called quarter horses because they're the best in the quarter mile.
Okay.
So a quarter mile is 440 yards.
Okay, so now when they do the Kentucky Derby, how long is that track? Is it?
That is a mile race.
So they're running a whole mile straight, full out.
Yep.
Jeez. Now, I've always, I've liked horses. I like watching Westerns and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, people just throw one foot in and swing over. How difficult is that to get in an animal that big? And how long does it take you to get comfortable sitting in the saddle? I watch them ride, and it always looks like they bounce up, they kind of hold, they sit back down, they bounce up, they kind of hold in the air. It's almost like it's up, freeze down, as opposed to just sitting there. Why do you ride like that?
It depends on the discipline. Some horses, some like different type of horses, you have to ride them in different type of ways.
Oh, okay.
Like a quarter horse, you can ride, like you said, up, three, down, such as that. But horses like Tennessee Walkers and stuff like that, you have to sit back in the saddle and work your legs more because they are gaited horses. So it all depends on the horse. But at the end of the day, to ride on a horse, and all it takes is confidence. You can't be scared because a horse can feel a mosquito, on his back.
Mm-hmm.
So he can feel all your emotions once you get on his back and touch him.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty
even through the saddle, he can feel those emotions.
Oh yeah.
That's a pretty big beast. I mean, what are they, like 2,000 pounds or something like that?
Nah, them probably about 1,500. I mean, you get some pretty big ones, about 1,500.
Yeah. No. How much would a Clydesdale weigh?
No, those are some. They go up to 2,000, close to a ton. So.
Ooh. So how long did it take you to learn how to ride?
I honestly, I couldn't tell you how long it took me and my brothers to learn how to ride. I probably came out the womb riding horses, honestly. Yeah, so I couldn't even tell you.
Zeke had you on a horse that soon, huh? Your dad had you on
both
there.
Of them.
Oh,
so
man.
now I'm 62. If I want to learn,
Hey Jeff, I'm back on because helping Baptiste saddle up another horse.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So Zeke, now let me ask you this: I'm 62 years old, and I decide I want to ride a horse. How long do you think it's going to take me, or is it just a matter of my confidence and my ability, or is it just a base learning curve? Like it's going to take anybody, regardless who you are.
It's just a learning experience. First you would learn on a horse that was already trained. That you're sure that's not going to hurt you, or you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But you start at the beginning. When we have kids and stuff come out to the house from the city and places like that, or at our church, what we do is we explain different parts of the horse's anatomy. Different parts of the bridle and the saddle and the reins and how to sit. And, it's you gotta. I mean, if you're gonna ride for real, I mean, you gotta learn all that.
Mm-hmm.
Because horses are very sensitive animals, males and females. It doesn't matter what kind of horse it is, what kind of breed it is. They're flight animals. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that, they'll hurt themselves trying to get away if they get scared.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So you have to start them off slow. Start the person who's learning how to ride off slow. And go from there. You gotta like it.
Yeah,
right. So it's definitely a serious trust between a horse and its handler all the time.
Right.
A very serious trust between the handler
we
and the
laugh
horse.
all the time.
Uh-huh.
People say, "Oh, that's a beautiful horse. Oh, I love horses." We'd be like, "Yeah, okay, well, come on out, hang with us."
Like, no, maybe next time, right?
Yeah,
that's like me.
The work and the time that we put in,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And, but like I said, I've been a cowboy ever since I knew myself.
Oh,
a lot of people in the city didn't know I was a cowboy, but I've been a cowboy ever since I knew who I was. Really, ever since I was about 6 or 7 years old.
Okay, so
that's all I ever wanted to do.
So now you
and thank God I married a woman, a beautiful woman, my queen, that she tolerates it.
Did she ride too?
Yeah, she tolerates it.
Yeah.
Did she ride?
Well, yeah, my wife, Arlene, she used to ride.
Now, I've never seen Arlene ride a horse. How about that?
Yeah, she used to ride, but she don't ride that much no more.
Oh, okay.
Because her legs, yeah.
Yo, okay.
Now I'm gonna step back a second. You said that you were a cowboy since you could remember. When you
Ever
say
since I
cowboy,
can remember who I was.
are you a real cowboy? Does that mean riding, lassoing, and all that kind of junk? Or what does that mean?
Yeah, I'm a real cowboy. I don't rope. I have tried it and stuff like that, but I'm a horseman. I'm a horse lover, and I'm a black cowboy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many black cowboys are there, and are they just based here in Detroit, or do you guys have an internet somewhere, or a network?
Yeah, there's internet.
I mean, a network.
Baptiste is the vice president of Michigan Black Horsemen.
Okay.
So we're involved in the club, and like I said, there's cowboys. Actually, this is what I want to talk about a little bit too. It's Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And all month, my sons and I, we just been looking at all the interesting black cowboys that was in the West and in the South that set the foundation for horsemanship on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to YouTube and you can find out so much black information on black cowboys, outlaws, lawmen,
Bass and Bill Pickett.
Yep. Bill Pickett, and then like they had
he's probably one of the most famous.
Nat Love.
Matt Love, yeah.
Nat Love, he was an outlaw.
Oh.
And then a lot of people don't know the Long Ranger was a black man.
Yeah, wasn't the Long Ranger based off of that black sheriff Bass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because nobody wanted to ride with him, so he was basically by himself because, back then.
Right. That's why they called him the Long Ranger.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, none of the white sheriffs wanted to work with him.
Uh-huh.
But he was supposed to be tough. He was supposed to be quick with a gun, accurate, and always got his man.
Now, so all these movies about the Lone Ranger, and the Lone Ranger is a white man.
Jeff, come on.
Now, hold on now. The real Lone Ranger is a brother?
Jeff, if they could have made King Kong white, he'd have been white.
The Black Rodeo used to come to Michigan every year.
Bill Pickett.
No, it was. Well, Bill Pickett, he's been here. His rodeo been here too.
Uh-huh.
But they have a new circuit out that's been coming for the last 3 years. Yeah, we have a website and everything, but we have business cards as well. But I'll let Baptiste and Janelle them give you the website because I don't know it right offhand.
Okay. Is there a phone number?
Yeah.
They can give us that too?
My number is 734-548-0294.
Okay, say that again, please.
734-548-0294.
Now, what is what's the cost for teaching somebody how to ride?
Well, I think Baptiste charges from between $25 an hour to $30 an hour, depending on what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you just want to come out and just learn how to ride basic, that's cool too. But if like for kids and stuff that's really want to get into it, it's like $30 if you get a contract. If you're going to do some time with them and spend some time. But just to come out to ride is usually like $25.
Okay. Now, if you said you do birthday parties and stuff like that, so say for instance I want to do something for my granddaughter, I don't, they're all grown, but I had a little kid.
Oh, we would love to. We'd love to.
No, I'm just saying, you would bring the pony or the horse to that spot, or do they have to come out to you?
We'll bring our horses wherever you want us to go.
No kidding, man. No kidding.
Yeah.
So now,
we take our horses downtown. We take our horses. Well, we used to go to Belle Isle, but they don't let us bring them over there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But we go all over. Year before last, we did a thing at a youth home for young kids that had been in like trouble or whatever. We took our horses all the way there on the east side of Detroit.
Mm-hmm. That must have been a nice experience for those kids. Huh?
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful, man. I mean, because just spreading the knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not that I'm sitting here saying I'm the best trainer, the best rider, or anything like that. We just like spreading the knowledge because that's what we love doing. You know, and a lot of people, especially black people, the horse business is going down. You know, down south is still big as far as black people riding and owning horses, but up north, kids don't really know too much about horses that we run into.
And it's probably not as much. It's probably not as much space to set up a horse ranch up north as it is down south, maybe.
Yeah,
you know,
but they do have them in the city now. They do have them in the city. They got a few horses in Detroit.
Yeah. Well, I know of a gentleman that in our neighborhood, he has a horse, and he has a stable over on Linden in Detroit.
Okay,
and that's where he keeps the horse. That from what I understand, and he rides through the neighborhood sometime on the horse. Just gallops through the neighborhood, you know.
Now, that's how my horses are. I can take them anywhere.
Now, do you need some kind
they
of...
They ride in the arena. They can ride in the arena. They can ride on the racetrack. They can ride in the city. They can ride. I could take them on the expressway and ride. They wouldn't spook or anything.
Yeah, but then, now, do you need some kind of special permit to ride throughout the city and so forth like that? Or you can? It's just like having a dog. You can just take them out.
Well, we take our horses out anywhere. We don't ask for no special permit, but if I have to get one, I will. But basically, we have our Coggins test, make sure our horses is not carrying any kind of blood disease. And we have our rabies shots, and we give our shots and stuff in the springtime. And we take care of our animals.
Okay. Now, you also do work line German Shepherd training. Tell us a little bit about that.
We work working line German Shepherds. We're not considered as a breeder, but we do breed our females every now and then, at least twice during their lifetime. Working line German Shepherds are the ones that basically that they use for police work, military work, protection dogs. But a lot of people don't know if they're handled right, like all animals, they can be good companion dogs and good family dogs as well. Because we have our dogs are great, and they're really bred good for working line. Like the female I have right now, she's in the car, in the truck with me right now. And both of her parents are protection dogs. They work, you know, they bite. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And she's bred that way, but my dog doesn't act that way. She's a good ranch dog, farm dog. She let us know something's wrong. If the horses are out, you know, if you come to my house, she'll let you know. But she's obedient, trained. I've taken her to school and everything, but I didn't do bite work.
Oh,
okay. I don't think I have to do bite work with her.
So now you breed and raise these dogs, or do you get them from like the police department, or do you train them and give them to the police department and the police go from there?
No, I gave one to the police department, but I don't know if he made it far as making it through the academy. They have to go through special training. It's just like an athlete. I mean, you know, I think I was a pretty good baseball player, you know, but I wasn't good enough to play professional, and that's how they take and train police dogs, military dogs. They all don't make it just because you give them one.
Now, is it as difficult to train a dog as it is to train a horse? Or is the dog a lot easier? Because it seems like you would spend more time
Dogs
with the dog.
are a lot smarter than horses.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah. Most dogs can learn over 500 words if they're trained properly.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's amazing. Over 500 words.
Yeah.
Now, do you just train German Shepherds, or I love Airedales. Those are my favorite dogs in the
Well,
whole world.
I'm a German Shepherd guy.
Okay.
That's my favorite dog, and quarter horses are my favorite horses because they're more all round to me.
You know, you don't see a whole lot of German Shepherds out anymore.
No, you don't see them that much. When we were growing up, everybody had a German Shepherd in the backyard.
Right.
That or a Doberman Pinscher.
Right.
But basically, they, people start crossbreeding them and breeding them for size and stuff like that, and that kind of messed up the bloodline. Of the German Shepherd. So you don't see that many. Most cases, like most people, first thing they say about a German Shepherd, so their hips will go out.
Yeah,
basically,
I hear that a lot.
That's just like you and I. Just because your father had arthritis, it's a chance that you're gonna have it, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna that is for sure. It's that automatically just because your father had arthritis or your mom had arthritis that you're gonna have it. It doesn't mean that. A lot of times people start jumping them too early, working them too early,
Well, when is too early?
And have bad hips.
When should you start working a dog as far as training them? At what age?
As soon as I get them in my house, as soon as they come to my ranch.
but like how old? Generally, if I brought you a puppy, say I just got a puppy, he's 8 weeks old, is that too early to start training him, or do I need to start now at that point, or do I wait till he gets to be 3 or 4 months?
Well, we believe in training them social first. We socialize our dogs. When I take my wife to the store, grocery shopping, or to the mall, I take the dog with me, the puppy with me, and I walk the puppy around the mall, and I let people rub them. We believe in socializing them, and that's the same way we train horses as well. We take our horses out when they're young, and they can see different things, so they're not scared of cars or big noises or gunshots or anything like that. We try to
expose them to all of that early,
as far as knowing and seeing different things.
Just acclimate them to the environment. Yeah, right.
I can see you doing that with a horse and all, but you're training guard dogs and protection dogs. Does that, exposing them and socializing them, does that make it more difficult to train them to be good attack and guard dogs or something? Because they're like,
can't be a good they can't be a good protection dog or guard dog until they know good obedience and good socialization. It's not going to work. If you start training them, it's just like a horse. If I just get on that horse and run them every time, that's all a horse is going to do. If I have a dog in the backyard and all I do is agitate him as far as biting, that's all he's going to do. I could take my dog in a crowd and she won't bite anybody, but if you come up on my truck or you come over to my house, she'll let you know.
That's a different thing. Yeah, I know dogs are territorial and all that. I just thought I was just always under the impression that the more people that play with your dog, the less effective it would be as a protection dog, because he says, "Oh, that's just a person. I know people." That
doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. They can be social
and still
as well as protection trained.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
you just have a little, but you just gotta watch them a little closer.
Let me ask you. One last question. Now, I asked you earlier about a network of other black horsemen and so forth around the country. Does that exist, and how do you stay in touch with people? Like, is there one in California, New York, or Chicago, or is it just, or are you just locally based and that's all you deal with?
We're locally based. I've ridden with a lot of the guys, a lot of the Michigan black horsemen, a lot of the older guys, like Will Liggins Jr., Cowboy Will, John Bryan. I've ridden with a lot of guys that that I got knowledge from and experience from, and and they were right here in Michigan. But basically, we ride with a lot of guys. We stay in contact with a lot of people. I mean, from Louisiana, Texas, places like that.
Okay. Yeah. If you were to take a wild guess, how many members you think you have, or how many black cowboys you think you have right here in Michigan?
Oh, yeah, it's quite a few. I'd say at least 30, 40.
Okay.
Michigan black cowboys.
And that's spread out throughout the state of Michigan, or just like,
Just spread throughout the state of Michigan. Mm-hmm. We're members of Michigan Black Horsemen. Baptiste is the vice president.
Okay.
And then you have the Buffalo Soldiers. Don't forget about those brothers.
Right,
yeah.
They're right there on Joy Road, Telegraph.
Right.
At the Rouge Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we ride with them too. And we camp out with our horses. We go to Toledo and camp out with the Toledo Black Horsemen. It's a big move, man. A lot of people don't know about it because, like I said, the horse industry, especially in the black community, is not as big as it was, say 15, 20 years ago. But like I said, the Black Rodeo came back. They've been coming 3 years in a row. So we're moving on it. We're moving on it.
Could you tell us where that rodeo will be held again? I know you mentioned it.
I'm not for sure what date, but it's held right at the Wayne County Fairgrounds in Belleville, right off of Belleville Road.
So we can just go to the internet.
About 15 miles from my house.
So we can just go to the internet and look that up, right?
Yeah, you can look it up. You may see us on some of the. We rode the Michigan Black Horsemen. We rode in the grand opening of the rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Zeke, any last thing any last words you want to tell our listeners about being a horseman and getting involved?
Well,
and how do you think you can bring horses back to? Bring more black people into the horse arena.
Well, what we're planning on doing, Jeff, is like going to the schools, going out in the community to the parks and places like that. We give a bone marrow transplant ride. I'm a physical therapist assistant, and I work in the bone marrow transplant unit. So we raise money for bone marrow transplant patients and their families, and we donate the money. And it's a big ride. And this year we're going to do it on June 25th. It's going to be at a place called Crosswinds Marsh. It's a 5-mile ride. If you bring your horse, we're asking you to donate $10. But you can donate whatever you like, as long as you come and have a good time. Mm-hmm. Those are kind of events and things we're doing. We do, like I said, we do the pony ride for birthday parties. We even do adult parties as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So those are the kind of things, and going to the schools and just educating the kids on anatomy of the horses, and that's the kind of things we like teaching, because that's where I started off with my kids. I started teaching them all the basics first, and then started letting them research black cowboys, and let them know that when we're watching the cowboy movies, it wasn't just all white boys doing it.
Yeah,
right. Excellent.
It's not negative against white guys, because I ride with a lot of white guys.
Right. But let's include everybody in the history.
Let's include everybody into the game.
Right.
We were just doing some. I can't think of his name right now, Jeff, but you're gonna have to ask Jano. We just looked at a video. The other day, Jano and I did. It was a black guy down in Louisiana, and he was saying how Opelousas, Louisiana, how it used to be all blacks. All blacks ran the barn, all black jockeys. I don't know if you guys know this. The first, the Kentucky Derby winner, the jockey was a black guy.
The first one.
Yes, sir.
Oh, the first one. Hey, Zeke.
I think it was the first one. Don't quote me on the first one, but it was a black guy that won Kentucky Derby.
Okay.
He's talking about way back in history, not recently.
Right.
Way back in history. Way back in history.
Yeah, but I remember that because I remember history where all the jockeys used to be black, but
right.
There were reasons for that. So
Zeke,
but they were the best.
Yeah.
They were the best, though.
You're right. They were the best.
That was the reason.
Hey, Zeke, I want to thank you, man, and you and your sons for your time.
Jeff, man, I love doing it. Man, I love spreading the word about, what I like doing, and that's raising quarter horses and working line German Shepherds. And
yes.
we just love it, man. We have a good time with it. Like I said, I'm not nothing special. I'm not sitting here talking to you guys saying that I'm the best trainer or the best rider, but we just love what we do.
Now, can you give out your information one more time for our listeners, and if they want to get in touch with you, do some riding or some parties?
Sure.
And,
yep.
Go ahead and give that information out for them.
The name of our ranch is the Easy J Ranch, and my telephone number is 734-548-0294.
All right,
Zeke, thanks a lot. Thank you, sons. We're going to try and get you back on again. We're running out of time, but we appreciate it. And, you keep riding, keep exposing, keep getting the word out to young black people and white people, of all colors, help them learn how to ride, the fun of riding, the enjoyment of it. And we appreciate your time, man, and we'll talk to you again.
And I got a party. I got a party coming
Jeff
up, too.
Keith, also include the Michigan Black Horsemen.
Oh, yeah.
Add them in because we're looking for more members and people that want to ride.
Okay.
We're both a social group, and we educate people on horses, and also we love to ride. So we're looking for new members and everything, man. We're trying to keep it rolling, bro.
All right. Okay. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks again, Zeke, and we'll talk to you later, man.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all have a good day, man. Hey,
You
cuz,
too.
I'll talk to you, man.
Okay, then. All right.
All right. Love you, boy.
All right. Love you back, brother.
I really enjoyed that segment with Zeke and talking about horses and so forth. We hope you enjoyed it as much. I'm Keith Butler, and my host.
I'm Jeff Lowe.
And we'd like to thank you all for listening to The Hook. And remember,
you heard it on The Hook.